The massive surveillance vessel floated in Earth's orbit like a silver needle against the black canvas of space. Inside the ship's command center, bright holographic displays cast a blue glow across Commander Hanwoo's focused face. His dark eyes studied the streams of data flowing across the screens, analyzing every detail about the planet below. Science Officer Jia stood at a nearby console, her slender fingers dancing across the controls as she processed the initial planetary scans. The ship's advanced sensors penetrated deep into Earth's atmosphere, gathering information about its technology level, population centers, and military capabilities. "Commander, I've completed the preliminary assessment," Jaya announced, turning to face her superior. "It's exactly what we expected. Another Class 3 civilization. Their most advanced vehicles have only reached their moon. Their weapons are primitive, and their energy technology is still based on burning fossil fuels." Hanwoo nodded slowly, a slight smile playing at the corners of his mouth. The Coalition had encountered dozens of similar worlds during their expansion across the galaxy. Each one had followed the same pattern: initial resistance followed by peaceful integration into the greater galactic community. Earth would be no different. "Prepare the standard first contact package," he ordered. "We'll begin with a display of our technological superiority over their major cities. Once they understand their position, we can proceed with the integration protocols." The massive ship's engines hummed to life as it moved into position over Earth's northern hemisphere. Smaller scout ships detached from the mother vessel, their sleek forms gliding down toward the planet's surface. The plan was simple: demonstrate their power, establish communication, and begin the process of bringing Earth under Coalition protection. But as the scout ships descended through the atmosphere, something unexpected happened. Earth's primitive radar systems shouldn't have been able to detect their advanced stealth technology. Yet suddenly, warning signals began blaring throughout the command center. "Commander," Jaya's voice carried a note of alarm. "Multiple surface-to-air weapons systems activating. They're tracking our ships." Hanwoo stared in disbelief as Earth's defense systems locked onto their scout vessels with impossible precision. Beams of energy, far more advanced than anything a Class 3 civilization should possess, lanced upward from hidden surface installations. Two scout ships exploded in brilliant flashes of light. The others scattered, their pilots caught completely off guard by the unexpected resistance. More defense systems activated across Earth's surface: electromagnetic pulse weapons, gravitational disruptors, and technologies that even the Coalition's sensors struggle to identify. "Impossible," Hanwoo whispered. "They've been preparing for us." The truth dawned on him with shocking clarity. Earth's apparent technological backwardness had been an elaborate deception. While their public space program remained limited to lunar missions, they had secretly developed advanced defensive capabilities specifically designed to counter alien invasion. Military bases hidden beneath the surface began launching squadrons of fighters that shouldn't have existed. Their designs incorporated elements of technology from multiple alien civilizations, suggesting Earth had not only been studying potential threats, but had somehow acquired and reverse-engineered advanced alien technology. "All ships, fall back to defensive positions," Hanwoo ordered. "Jaya, begin full military scan of the surface. I want to know exactly what we're dealing with." But Earth wasn't finished with surprises. As Coalition forces regrouped, massive energy signatures began appearing across the planet's surface. Hidden cities and military installations rose from beneath the oceans and emerged from mountain ranges that had concealed them for centuries. A transmission cut through their communication channels, broadcast simultaneously in every known Coalition language. "Attention alien vessels. You have entered restricted space. Earth is a sovereign world prepared to defend itself against any aggression. Your assessment of our capabilities was intentionally misleading. We suggest you reconsider your current course of action." Hanwoo gripped the edges of his command console, his mind racing. In all his years of expanding Coalition influence, he had never encountered anything like this. Earth had not only anticipated first contact, they had spent generations preparing for it, hiding their true capabilities behind a carefully constructed facade of primitive technology. Commander Jaya's voice was quiet. I'm detecting energy readings consistent with antimatter weapons. They have enough firepower to destroy our entire fleet. The standard peaceful integration protocol had failed spectacularly. For the first time in Coalition history, they faced a civilization that had outmaneuvered them before first contact even began. Earth wasn't just another primitive world to be peacefully absorbed into their empire. It was a planet of warriors who had spent centuries preparing for this exact moment. As Hanwu stared at the tactical displays showing Earth's true military capability, he realized this first contact had gone wrong in ways no one could have predicted. The galaxy's deadliest species had just discovered that humans were far more dangerous than anyone had imagined. The command center of the Coalition flagship buzzed with frantic activity as reports of Earth's defensive capabilities continued to pour in. Hanwu's face had turned a shade darker with anger and disbelief as he watched another squadron of his ships retreat from Earth's orbit. 3 more cruisers damaged, sir, reported his tactical officer. Earth's weapons are specifically designed to target our shield frequencies. They knew exactly where to hit us. Hanwu's fist came down hard on his command console, causing several nearby officers to jump. Impossible. Their entire civilization was supposed to be decades away from developing basic spaceflight. How could they have these defenses ready? Chief Military Analyst Tom Min worked frantically at his station, his fingers flying over the holographic controls as he processed combat data from the failed invasion attempt. His eyes widened as patterns began emerging from the chaos. "Sir, you need to see this," Tom Min called out, his voice tight with concern. "I'm detecting something unprecedented in the neural patterns of Earth's military personnel. Their adaptation rate to our tactics is off the charts." Hanwu moved to Tom Min's station, studying the complex wave patterns displayed on the screen. "Explain." "Most species show consistent neural responses in combat situations," Tom Min explained, highlighting several data streams. "But humans, their minds actually become more efficient under stress. They're learning and adapting to our strategies in real time. It's like nothing we've ever encountered." Down on Earth's surface, Major Song-hee crouched behind a reinforced barrier, watching as her Special Forces team deployed their latest countermeasures against the Coalition forces. The experimental technology they'd developed was proving more effective than even their most optimistic predictions. "Team 2, activate the resonance disruptors," she ordered through her neural link. The air shimmered as invisible waves of energy pulsed outward, causing nearby Coalition ships to lose their gravitational stability. Song-hee allowed herself a small smile as another alien vessel spun out of control, its advanced systems confused by technology that shouldn't have existed on Earth. Her team had spent years studying fragments of crashed alien ships, reverse engineering their technology, and developing countermeasures. "Major, the Coalition forces are pulling back to a higher orbit," reported her second-in-command. "Their attack patterns are becoming more cautious. They're learning that we can match them." In orbit, Hanwu received more disturbing reports from his analysis team. Earth's military wasn't just using stolen technology. They were improving upon it. Coalition weapons and defenses that had remained unchanged for centuries were being countered by human innovations that seemed to evolve by the hour. "Sir," Tom Min called out again, his voice even more worried. "I've completed my analysis of their combat responses. The humans aren't just adapting to our tactics, they're anticipating them. Their military training programs seem designed around countering specific Coalition protocols." Hanwu's eyes narrowed as he studied the tactical display. "How long have they been watching us? Planning for this?" The answer became clear as more data poured in. Earth's governments had been preparing for this confrontation for generations. Their public space program had been a carefully crafted deception, while their true technological development remained hidden in underground bases and secret facilities. Song-hee's team moved through the rubble of a damaged Coalition ground installation, their advanced sensors scanning for useful technology. Every piece of alien equipment they captured provided new insights, new opportunities to improve their defenses. "Major, we found their central computer core," one of her soldiers reported. "It's intact." Song He nodded, knowing this could provide even more advantages. "Secure it for transport to Research Division. Dr. Hyun-Ki's team will want to analyze every component." Back in orbit, Han-Woo was forced to face an uncomfortable reality. The Coalition's standard protocols for dealing with developing civilizations had been built around predictable responses and clear technological hierarchies. But humans were proving to be anything but predictable. "Commander," Ta Min's voice cut through his thoughts. "Based on current analysis, I believe we severely underestimated not just their technological level, but their entire species. Their ability to adapt and innovate. It's beyond anything in our records." Han-Woo watched as another wave of Earth's defenders launched from hidden bases, their ships incorporating both human ingenuity and adapted alien technology. This was supposed to be a simple integration mission. Instead, they had stumbled into a confrontation with a species that had spent centuries preparing for this exact moment. The hidden strengths of humanity were becoming clearer with each passing hour, and the implications sent shockwaves through the Coalition command structure. They hadn't found another primitive world to guide into the galactic community. They had awakened a sleeping giant that had been quietly studying them all along. Deep beneath Mount Hala's imposing peak, the underground research facility hummed with intense activity. Dr. Hyun-Ki bent over a dismantled Coalition power core, his experienced eyes studying the complex network of crystalline structures within. Around him, dozens of scientists worked at similar stations, each focused on understanding different aspects of the alien technology. The captured Coalition computer core from Major Song-hee's team had provided them with invaluable insights. Holographic displays showed detailed schematics of various alien systems, while simulation programs ran countless tests on potential improvements. "Dr. Hyun-Ki," called one of his assistants, "the latest test results are ready." The scientist straightened, rubbing his tired eyes as he moved to examine the data. Their progress over the past week had exceeded all expectations. What had started as simple reverse engineering had evolved into something far more significant. General Jin-Ho entered the research bay, his presence commanding immediate attention. The military leader had come to personally review their latest breakthroughs, understanding that humanity's survival could depend on their work. "General, you need to see this," Dr. Hyun-Ki said, gesturing to the test results. "Their power systems. We finally understood the fundamental principles. The Coalition uses quantum crystalline matrices to channel energy, but their design is inefficient." He pulled up a comparison display, showing the original alien design next to their modified version. "They've been using the same technology for centuries without improvement, but we found ways to enhance the power output by nearly 40%. General Jin-Ho studied the displays intently. "Can we implement these improvements in our defense systems?" "Better than that," Dr. Hyun-Ki replied, excitement clear in his voice. "We can adapt it to our fighters. The enhanced power systems will give them capabilities beyond anything the Coalition has encountered." High above the Earth, Lieutenant Du Yun led her squadron through another series of combat exercises. Their fighters, newly equipped with the improved power systems, moved with unprecedented speed and agility. "Delta Wing, execute pattern Sigma 3, she commanded, putting her fighter into a series of maneuvers that would have been impossible with conventional technology. Her squadron followed, their enhanced ships responding to their pilots' commands with perfect precision. Coalition observers watched in growing concern as Earth's fighters demonstrated capabilities that shouldn't have been possible. The human pilots weren't just mastering alien technology, they were pushing it beyond its designed limits. Back in the research facility, Dr. Hyun-Ki's team made another breakthrough. They had discovered a way to combine Earth's quantum computing advances with Coalition crystal technology, creating hybrid systems that outperformed anything either civilization had developed separately. The Coalition's biggest weakness, Dr. Hyun-Ki explained to his team, is their resistance to change. They've had centuries of technological stability, but that's made them inflexible. We can use that against them. In orbit, Lieutenant Du Yen's squadron engaged a coalition patrol. The alien ships, despite their advanced technology, found themselves outmaneuvered by human pilots who seemed to anticipate their every move. They're too predictable, Du Yen communicated to her pilots. Their combat algorithms haven't changed in generations. Use their patterns against them. The resulting battle proved her point. Human intuition, combined with enhanced technology, allowed Earth's defenders to counter coalition tactics with devastating effectiveness. 3 alien vessels retreated, their crews shaken by the unexpected defeat. Dr. Hyun-Ki's team worked around the clock, each new discovery leading to further improvements. They found ways to enhance shield systems, develop more efficient weapons, and create defensive measures that the coalition had never considered. We're not just copying their technology anymore, he told General Jinho during another briefing. We're reinventing it. The coalition's greatest strength, their advanced technology, is becoming their greatest weakness. They don't know how to handle enemies who can not only match their capabilities but improve upon them. As if to prove his point, Lieutenant Du Yen's squadron achieved another victory, using modified coalition technology in ways its original designers had never imagined. The human pilot's ability to adapt and innovate in the middle of combat continued to confound their alien opponents. The turning point had arrived. Earth wasn't just defending itself anymore. It was pushing back, using the coalition's own technology against them in increasingly effective ways. Dr. Hyun-Ki's breakthroughs, combined with the skill and adaptability of pilots like Du Yen, were changing the balance of power in ways no one had anticipated. The coalition's assumption of technological superiority had been their first mistake. Their second was underestimating humanity's ability to not just learn, but improve upon everything they encountered. As Earth's defenders grew stronger with each passing day, the aliens began to realize they had awakened something unprecedented in their long history of galactic expansion. Admiral Min Seo stood before the massive holographic display in the Coalition Strategic Command Center. Her eyes narrowed as she watched recordings of recent battles with Earth's forces play out in perfect detail. Each replay revealed something more disturbing than the last. "Play the footage from Sector 7 again," she ordered. The hologram shifted, showing a group of human fighters engaging a superior coalition force. By all tactical analysis, the humans should have retreated. Instead, they pressed their attack with increasing effectiveness, even as their ships took damage. Stop. Enhance neural pattern analysis. The display zoomed in on the biological readings from the human pilots. Their stress levels were far beyond what most species could endure, yet their performance kept improving. One of her analysts stepped forward. "Admiral, we've compiled data from 30 similar engagements. The pattern is consistent. The humans don't respond to stress the way they should." Min Seo watched as more battle footage played out. Coalition forces had always relied on predictable enemy responses. When faced with overwhelming odds, most species either retreated or became less effective. Humans did neither. On the surface of Earth, Colonel Yuna was proving this point. Her forces had been cornered by a coalition ground unit 3 times their size. Instead of surrendering, they launched a counterattack that seemed to defy all military logic. "Third Squad, initiate sound warfare," Yuna commanded. Special devices activated, broadcasting frequencies that the coalition species found deeply disturbing. It wasn't just noise. It was carefully calculated to exploit alien psychological weaknesses. The coalition troops, despite their superior numbers and equipment, began to show signs of confusion. Their coordinated formations broke down as the humans pressed their advantage, using tactics that made no sense to their alien minds. Back in Strategic Command, Admiral Min Seo prepared her report for the High Council. The evidence was undeniable. Humanity's unpredictable nature made them far more dangerous than anyone had anticipated. "Look at this," she told her fellow commanders, highlighting another battle recording. "When we destroyed half their fleet in this sector, standard doctrine says they should have withdrawn to regroup. Instead, they split their remaining forces into smaller units and launched simultaneous attacks on multiple targets. The coalition's carefully structured battle plans were falling apart in the face of human unpredictability. Their tactical computers couldn't anticipate actions that defied logical response patterns. Colonel Yun-A's forces demonstrated this again as they engaged another coalition unit. Her soldiers used their understanding of alien psychology to maximum effect, employing tactics that seemed random but were actually carefully designed to create confusion. They're not just fighting us, Min Seo realized. They're studying us, learning our psychological weaknesses, and exploiting them. The Admiral compiled more footage showing human adaptability in combat. In one battle, Earth fighters deliberately flew into an asteroid field that should have meant certain death. Instead, they used the chaotic environment to their advantage, emerging to attack coalition ships from unexpected angles. Their neural patterns during these engagements are fascinating, her chief medical officer reported. The humans produce chemicals under stress that actually enhance their performance. What should disable them makes them more effective. Colonel Yun-A's latest victory provided perfect evidence of this phenomenon. Her troops had been awake for over 40 hours, cut off from supplies, and facing superior forces. Rather than degrading, their combat effectiveness had increased. They don't just endure stress, Min Seo explained to the High Council. They thrive on it. Our standard tactics of wearing down enemy forces through prolonged engagement are actually making them more dangerous. The implications were clear. The coalition's entire military doctrine was based on predictable responses and logical behavior patterns. Humanity's apparent irrationality under pressure made them impossible to predict or counter effectively. In another sector, human forces demonstrated this by using their own damaged ships as weapons, turning defeats into victories through strategies that no coalition commander would ever consider. We're not just fighting their weapons or technology, Min Seo concluded in her report. We're fighting their very nature. Every attempt to apply pressure using our standard protocols only makes them more unpredictable, more innovative, and more dangerous. The coalition's strategic command faced a crisis unlike any in its history. They had encountered a species that not only refused to follow expected behavior patterns, but seemed to become more effective the more they were challenged. As Colonel Yun-A's forces celebrated another victory, Admiral Min Seo realized that the coalition would need to completely rethink its approach to warfare. The humans had shown that unpredictability wasn't just a tactical choice, it was woven into their very nature. The Grand Conference Hall in Seoul buzzed with tension as world leaders gathered for the Emergency World Summit. Holographic displays showed the coalition fleet positions above Earth, while screens tracked ongoing battles across the globe. Ambassador Sang-min stood at the podium, his expression grave as he faced the assembled representatives. The room fell silent as Sang-min began to speak. For centuries, our nations have fought among themselves. We've drawn lines on maps and called them borders. But look up. He gestured to the tactical displays. Those ships above us don't see Korean or American or Russian. They see only human targets. In the audience, old rivals sat side by side. Leaders who had once threatened each other with weapons now shared information about coalition weaknesses. The threat of extinction had accomplished what centuries of diplomacy could not. Every moment we waste fighting each other is a moment we give our enemies, Sang-min continued. The coalition expects us to remain divided. They count on human nature to keep us from working together. We must prove them wrong. Dr. Jai-yun watched from her seat among the scientific advisors. Her team had made a crucial discovery in their research facility, finding ways to combine common Earth minerals with captured alien technology. But implementing it would require unprecedented cooperation between nations. She stood when called upon, moving to the podium with data tablets in hand. The coalition's technology relies on rare materials from across the galaxy, she explained. But we found that certain Earth elements, when properly processed, can serve as effective substitutes. The implications were enormous. Earth could mass-produce advanced alien technology using local resources. But the processing facilities needed would require resources from multiple nations working together. Russia has the mineral deposits we need, Jia continued. Japan and Korea have the necessary manufacturing capabilities. American and European labs have developed crucial processing techniques. We must combine these resources. For the first time, national secrets were shared openly. Chinese quantum computing advances were merged with Indian software innovations. Brazilian manufacturing plants began working with Canadian research teams. In orbit, the coalition observers noticed the change. Human resistance was becoming more coordinated, more effective. Ships from different nations now fought together in perfect formation, sharing tactics and technology that had once been closely guarded secrets. Ambassador Sangmin moved through the conference hall, helping forge alliances between former enemies. Every nation has something to contribute, he reminded them. Every piece of knowledge, every resource, every soldier, all of it matters now. Dr. Jian's breakthrough began showing results. Factories across the globe began producing hybrid technology that combined Earth's resources with alien designs. What the coalition had achieved with rare cosmic materials, humans replicated using elements found in their own planet's crust. We're not just copying their technology anymore, Jian explained to a group of international scientists. We're improving it, making it our own. And because we're using Earth materials, they can't cut off our supply lines. The Emergency World Summit continued for days, with leaders working around the clock to coordinate their efforts. Military commands were unified, research data was shared freely, and production resources were pooled. In a historic moment, the leaders signed the Earth Defense Accord. National armies were combined into a single Earth Defense Force. Border disputes were suspended. The survival of the species had become the only priority that mattered. Dr. Jian's team expanded, incorporating scientists from dozens of nations. Together, they developed new applications for their hybrid technology. Weapons became more effective, shields grew stronger, and Earth's defenders gained new advantages daily. Ambassador Sangmin stood at the podium one final time as the summit drew to a close. "Look around this room," he said. "See how former enemies now work together." The coalition thought they would find a divided planet, easy to conquer piece by piece. Instead, they have united us as nothing else could. The coalition's strategic analysts noted with growing concern how human resistance had evolved. Nations that had spent centuries in conflict now operated as a single force. Technologies that had been jealously guarded national secrets were freely shared and improved upon. Unity in crisis had transformed humanity's defenders. Earth's combined resources and shared knowledge had turned the tide of war. Dr. Jian's breakthrough, multiplied by global cooperation, had given humanity its first real advantage against the alien invaders. As the summit concluded, the assembled leaders knew they had witnessed a turning point in human history. National pride had given way to species survival, and Earth's defenders had become stronger for it. The coalition's attempt to conquer a divided planet had instead forced humanity to find its unity at last. The space around Proxima Centauri lit up with weapons fire as Captain Sun Mi's fleet engaged the coalition forces. Her command ship, the Terra Defender, moved through the chaos with unexpected grace, leading a formation that seemed to constantly shift and evolve. "Status report," Sun Mi called out, her eyes fixed on the tactical display showing both fleets in motion. Her bridge crew worked with practiced efficiency, coordinating with ships from dozens of Earth nations now fighting as one. "Coalition fleet outnumbers us 3-1, her tactical officer reported. "They're moving to surround us using their standard containment pattern." Sun Mi allowed herself a small smile. The coalition's reliance on established tactics had become their greatest weakness. "Initiate Operation Chaos," she ordered. Her fleet suddenly broke apart, ships scattering in seemingly random directions. To coalition observers, it appeared that the human fleet had panicked and lost formation. Commander Q1 watched from his flagship, expecting an easy victory. "Target their scattered ships," he ordered. "Standard elimination protocol." But as coalition ships moved to engage the apparently disorganized humans, Sunmi's true strategy revealed itself. The scattered Earth vessels suddenly reversed course, attacking from multiple angles simultaneously. They struck with perfect coordination, despite appearing completely disordered. Impossible, Q1 muttered, watching his carefully structured formation break apart under the assault. Their movements make no tactical sense, yet they're achieving perfect results. The human ships struck like a swarm of angry insects, each attack forcing the coalition vessels to adjust their positions. With each adjustment, they fell further into Sunmi's trap. Phase 2, she commanded. Her fleet's hybrid weapons, combinations of Earth technology, and improved alien designs, opened fire. The coalition's shields, calibrated for standard energy weapons, provided little protection against these unexpected variations. On his flagship, Q1 struggled to understand what he was seeing. They're not following any known combat doctrine, he reported to his superiors. Their strategies seemed to change moment by moment. Sunmi's fleet continued its unpredictable assault. Ships that should have retreated pressed their attacks. Vessels that appeared damaged suddenly revealed full combat capability. Nothing behaved the way coalition tactical computers predicted. The human factor, one of Q1's analysts observed. They're not fighting according to strategic models. They're fighting on pure instinct and adaptation. The battle around Proxima Centauri became a lesson in human unpredictability. Sunmi's forces used the star's radiation to mask their movements, turned their own damaged ships into weapons, and employed tactics that seemed to defy basic military logic. Begin final phase, Sunmi ordered. Her fleet reassembled as quickly as it had scattered, but in a formation the coalition had never encountered. The Earth ships linked their hybrid shield systems, creating a unified defense grid that their enemies couldn't penetrate. Q1 watched in growing horror as his fleet's advantages melted away. Superior numbers meant nothing against an enemy that refused to behave according to any predictable pattern. Advanced technology proved ineffective against humans who had not only mastered it but improved upon it. Full retreat, he finally ordered, accepting the bitter taste of defeat. As his ships withdrew, he composed his report to Coalition High Command. "The humans don't think like us," he wrote. "Their responses defy all strategic models. They take our own technology and use it in ways we never imagined." Sunmi's bridge crew celebrated their victory, but she remained focused on the tactical display. This battle had proven what Earth's defenders had begun to suspect. Humanity's greatest weapon wasn't their technology or their numbers, but their fundamental unpredictability. "The coalition expects logic," she told her crew. "They expect responses to follow established patterns. But humans have always survived by doing the unexpected." The Battle of Proxima Centauri marked a crucial turning point in the war. The coalition's defeat proved that their technological advantages and superior numbers weren't enough. They faced an enemy that could turn their own strengths against them, that could adapt and innovate in the middle of combat. As reports of the victory spread through Earth's combined forces, the human factor became a recognized tactical advantage. Military academies began teaching what they called adaptive warfare, encouraging commanders to trust their instincts and embrace unpredictable strategies. Q1's report sent shockwaves through Coalition High Command. They had encountered many species in their expansion across the galaxy, but none that could match humanity's ability to innovate and adapt in the heat of battle. The human factor had changed everything. Sunmi's victory using unconventional tactics proved that humanity's unique way of thinking, their ability to improvise, adapt, and overcome, made them a force unlike anything the Coalition had faced before. The Grand Chamber of the Coalition Council fell silent as Dr. Hyjin approached the central platform. The space around her illuminated with holographic displays showing Earth's remarkable journey from first contact to their current position. Representatives from 1,000 worlds watched with intense interest. "Honorable Council members," she began, her voice clear and confident. "You came to Earth expecting to find a primitive species in need of guidance. Instead, you found something unprecedented in Coalition history. The displays shifted to show scenes from Earth's resistance, their hidden preparations, their rapid adaptation of alien technology, their unconventional battle tactics that had confounded coalition forces. For centuries, your civilization has measured advancement by technological achievement alone, Hyjin continued. But humanity showed you a different kind of advancement. The ability to adapt, to innovate, to imagine possibilities beyond established patterns. She gestured to footage of Earth's defenders combining their own resources with alien technology in ways the Coalition had never considered. We didn't just copy your technology. We improved it. We found new applications you had never imagined. The council chamber's atmosphere changed as Hyjin moved through her presentation. Scenes of human creativity and resourcefulness played out before them. Earth's nations uniting in crisis, their scientists developing hybrid technologies, their warriors devising unpredictable strategies. Your civilization achieved stability through standardization, she explained. But humans thrive on change. What you saw as primitive was actually potential waiting to be unleashed. Coalition analysts presented their findings, confirming everything Hyjin said. Human neural patterns showed adaptation rates far beyond any known species. Their stress responses enhanced rather than degraded their performance. Their ability to imagine new possibilities seemed limitless. We did not defeat your forces through superior technology, Hyjin continued. We defeated them by thinking differently, by seeing possibilities where you saw only established patterns. The council members watched footage of Captain Sunni's victory at Proxima Centauri, studying how human unpredictability had overcome superior coalition numbers and technology. The mystery of our resistance isn't really a mystery at all, Hyjin said. Humanity's greatest strength has always been our ability to adapt, to change, to overcome challenges by thinking beyond conventional limits. As her presentation concluded, the Coalition Council faced a profound realization. Their civilization's emphasis on technological advancement had blinded them to other forms of progress. Humanity's creative spirit and adaptability represented a kind of advancement they had never considered. The Coalition's classification system, which had ranked civilizations purely by technological achievement, underwent immediate revision. Earth gained not just recognition, but a permanent seat on the Galactic Council, representing a new understanding of what constituted an advanced species. We offer more than just alliance, Hyjin told the Council. We offer a new perspective. Together, we can explore possibilities neither of our civilizations could imagine alone. The Council chamber erupted in discussion as representatives debated the implications. Humanity's unique abilities could transform the galaxy. Their adaptability and innovation could solve problems that had puzzled coalition scientists for generations. The greatest technology, Hyjin reminded them, isn't found in our ships or weapons. It exists in our ability to imagine beyond what seems possible, to adapt to any challenge, to constantly evolve and improve. Her presentation became required study for all coalition species. Future generations would learn how humanity had transformed their understanding of advancement and potential. The galaxy entered a new era of cooperation and discovery. Human innovation combined with coalition resources led to breakthroughs neither civilization could have achieved alone. Earth's seat on the Council ensured that human creativity and adaptability would help shape the galaxy's future. As Dr. Hyjin left the Council chamber, she carried with her humanity's new role as teachers and partners in galactic civilization. The species that had been dismissed as primitive had proven that true advancement meant more than just technological progress. The Coalition had found not just worthy allies, but teachers who could show them new ways of thinking, new possibilities they had never imagined. Humanity's greatest contribution to galactic civilization would be their unending ability to adapt, innovate, and imagine beyond the possible. Thanks for reading *.